Is Pep Guardiola really the greatest coach of all time, or just the most privileged? Nearly 60% of fans say he wouldn't win a thing at a mid-table club, yet he's still crowned the world's best. But here's the twist. 8 of the last 10 UEFA Coach of the Year winners inherited squads worth over €500 million. So, are we rewarding genius or just the richest? And if genius is real, why is the average Premier League manager sacked after just 1.3 years? Let's not tiptoe around it. The modern football manager's job isn't just tactics. It's a high-wire act, a branding exercise, and often a public execution. Every season we're fed stories of masterminds and serial winners, but beneath the surface, a darker truth emerges. Is there really a best coach? Or is it all media hype fueled by sackings, social media outrage, and billionaire whims? If that sounds cynical, good. Let's step into the dugout and see what the glare hides. Every Monday, pundits dissect formations and crown the latest tactical genius. But how much of a coach's success is truly their own, and how much is the product of a multi-million-pound squad, a lucky bounce, or just being in the right place at the right time? Take Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen in 2024, hailed as a prodigy for his unbeaten Bundesliga run. But was it tactical brilliance or inheriting a talented squad and catching rivals on a bad year? Would he be a genius if he'd taken over a relegation-threatened side and finished 14th? The so-called serial winners tell a similar story. Guardiola's Champions League drought at City before finally breaking through, Klopp's early final losses, Mourinho's infamous third-season syndrome, reminders that even the most celebrated coaches are not immune to chaos and luck. Let's look at the numbers. When you break down the careers of 200 managers, a clear pattern emerges. The richer the club, the more the manager wins. At elite clubs, think squads worth over €500 million, managers win about 65% of their games, stay in the job for over 2.5 years, and average more than 3 trophies per stint. Drop down to mid-table clubs and win rates fall to 45%, with managers lasting just 1.5 years and rarely winning silverware. At the bottom, managers win barely 1/3 of their games and are gone in just over a year. Here's the kicker. 92% of the most successful managers, those with the highest win rates and most trophies, are at the richest clubs. That's not a coincidence. It's a system where money buys not just players, but also the illusion of managerial genius. On screen, managers at elite clubs, 65% win rate, 2.5 years in the job, 3+ trophies. Mid-table, 45% win rate, 1.5 years. Almost no trophies. 92% of top managers are at the richest clubs. The sacking machine. But even with all that money, the job is brutal. In the 2023-24 Premier League season, there were 13 managerial changes, nearly half the league. Across Europe's top 48 leagues, the average manager lasts just 1.3 years, the lowest in years. Less than 5% of top-flight managers survive 5 years or more. Graham Potter at Chelsea, 7 months. Frank Lampard, 18. The revolving door never stops spinning. Average Premier League manager tenure, 1.3 years. Less than 1 in 20 last 5 years. Behind the touchline. What we rarely discuss is the human cost. Pep Guardiola, in 2024, admitted, "I don't digest food properly now. Sometimes I lose my mind, Jurgen Klopp, on leaving Liverpool. I'm running out of energy. I know that I cannot do the job again and again." Emma Hayes, after Chelsea. "I didn't feel healthy at the end. I actually felt unwell." Managers at elite clubs report higher stress, nearly 8 out of 10 on average, compared to 6.6 at mid-table clubs. Nearly a quarter of all managers say their stress is off the charts. The pressure isn't just about results, it's about living under a microscope every day. The branding machine and the digital guillotine. It's not just about results, it's about legacy, influence, and branding. Jose Mourinho put it bluntly, "The manager today is not the same as 20 years ago. Now, you are a face, a brand. The football is almost secondary. Social media has weaponized fan pressure. Dismissed managers face an average of 14 trending hashtag campaigns and over a month of negative headlines. Eric Ten Hag's hashtag Ten Hag out saga at United, proof that the digital mob can shape a manager's fate. The diversity scandal. And then there's the question of who even gets a chance. Only 4% of English pro managers are black, despite 44% of players being black. In France, Italy, Spain, and Germany, the numbers are even lower. Chris Hughton says, "It's not about ability, it's about who you know." Walid Regragui, the first indigenous African structures resist change. 44% of players are black. Only 4% of managers are. So, is Pep Guardiola a genius or just privileged? The data says both, but mostly the latter. Nearly 60% of fans believe he wouldn't win at a mid-table club, and the numbers back them up. The modern manager isn't just fighting other teams. They're fighting mathematics, systemic bias, social media mobs, and their own mental health. The average Premier League manager lasts just 1.3 years. That's the real measure of the job's brutality.